Welcome everyone. So today we are here with a part 3 video of the lesson gravitation, and in this video we are studying about Newton's universal law of gravitation. So let's see what is this law. Class 10 physics. Alright, so this law is about the attraction between two different objects with the force. Always, if attraction is there, then there should be some force. Alright, so let's see the law. Okay, so before studying the law, just quickly revise Kepler's law of planetary motion. So first, Kepler's first law is the orbit of a planet is an ellipse with the sun at one of the foci. Second law, Kepler's second law, the line joining the planet and the sun sweeps equal area in equal interval of time, and this second law is also called as the law of area, and first law is also called as the law of orbits. And third, Kepler's third law is the square of its period of revolution around the sun is directly proportional to the cube of the mean distance of a planet from the sun. So these are the three Kepler's law. For the explanation, you can go through my previous video. Okay, so now let's study the Newton's universal law of gravitation. So student, all the consideration including the Kepler's law which we have seen in our previous slide, these laws led Newton to formulate his theory of universal gravity. Okay. And according to this theory, every object in the universe attracts every other object with a definite force. Now here you can observe the earth. Okay, earth is orbiting the sun with the proper force as it is moving around the sun. So there should be some proper forces there and attraction will be there. Okay, due to the force and attraction, the earth is able to move or able to revolve around the sun, and it is a force also, it is a force only, and it is attraction only due to which we are able to walk on the earth or able to work on the floor. Okay, so this is nothing but a attraction. Now let's study the law. We know that every object in the universe attracts every other object with a definite force, and the force by which the two objects attract themselves, this force is directly proportional to the product of the masses of the two objects and is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Now let's see the formula of the universal law of gravitation. Okay. So here two different objects are there with the masses m1 and m2, and f1 and f2 are the forces. So this is a gravitational force between two objects, and the mass of first object is m1 and second object is m2. So these two objects are attracted towards each other with the force f1 and f2, and the distance between them is r, or we can take as d also. Okay, now here mathematically the gravitational force of attraction between these two bodies can be written as these two bodies means one body of mass m1 and second other body with a mass m2. Now here if we will apply the formula, then it is force. Okay, force is directly proportional to the product of their masses. Now product of their masses means m1 multiplied by m2, and it is inversely proportional. Inversely proportional means m1 upon m2 up m1 m2 upon r square. Okay, so force is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to square of the distance between the two objects. Okay, or else we can write in the like this also, that f is equals to that means where we remove the sign of a proportionality, it can be written as f is equals to g m1 m2 upon r square. Now here g is universal gravitational constant. Okay, its value will be always fixed. So here g is the constant of proportionality and is called as a universal gravitational constant. So this is a universal law of gravitation. Okay, now student, the law means that law means this law that F1 is directly proportional to m1 upon m1 m2 upon r square. So this law means that if the mass of one object is double, the force between the two objects also get doubles. That means here you can observe that F is directly proportional to product of m1 m2. Okay, so if the mass of object will be double, then the force is also will be double, because force is directly proportional to their masses. All right, so if force will increases, product of their masses also increases. But if force and also if the distance is double, the force decreases by a factor of 4. As we can see in the formula that F is inversely proportional to distance square of the distance. So as the distance will be double, then force will be decreases by factor of 4. Like we can observe, see now here r square is there. So r square, if the distance it will be double, that means distance is square, so force will decreases by factor of 4. All right. Okay, so here if the two bodies are spherical in shape, the direction of the force is always along the line joining the center of the two bodies, and the distance between the center is taken to be d. That means distance between the two objects will be, between their center of the object, it will be d. But in case when the bodies are not spherical or have any irregular shape, then the direction of the force is along the line joining their centers of the mass, and d is taken to be the distance between the two center of the mass. So here these two are different condition. One is when the shape of the body is spherical, and next condition is when the two bodies are not spherical or having any irregular shapes. Alright, now F is directly proportional to m1 m2 upon r square. Okay, so the value of G is the gravitational force acting between two unit masses, that means m1 and m2. Okay, kept at a unit distance away from each other. Unit distance means 1. Okay, and thus in SI unit, the value of G is equal to the gravitational force between two masses of 1 kg kept 1 meter apart. That means here the value of masses will be 1 unit, and the value of distance will be 1 meter apart from each other. Okay, so here the value of G was first experimentally measured by Henry Cavendish, and in SI units its value is 6.673 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square kg per Newton meter square kilogram per kilogram. Okay, kilogram raised to minus 2. So this is a unit of gravitational constant, and the value of the gravitational constant will be always fixed, and this value is you should remember to solve the numericals related on this topic. So student, I hope you all have understood this topic very well, Newton's law, universal law of gravitational, and next part of the video we will continue in our next session. Thank you all of you.